Hey beautiful people, today is Sunday and I'm back with a special video for all of you. And so how have you been? Good? I have been good too. I just did a 2.5 kilometer run. I didn't have enough time, but I had a couple of things which were going through my head and I thought I should talk to all of you or maybe my young friends and ask them a couple of questions. And the one thing that struck me was I should ask you, have you been making mistakes? Are you making mistakes? Did you make mistakes in the past? And are you scared to make mistakes? Many a times what happens is that young people are very scared to make mistakes because they think that their friends, their classmates, their teachers, their parents are going to think that they are stupid, dumb and unintelligent and all those kind of things. But my thing is that you are supposed to make mistakes, otherwise how are you going to learn? If you do not make mistakes, how are you going to learn any process at all? Let's say for example your maths. There is a maths problem and you have made a mistake. If you did not try it, you would not have made a mistake. You have already done the first step. You tried, you made a mistake, and now it is your turn. It is now the next step is to learn. So how are you going to learn? Either you ask your teacher how to do it, or your father or mother or your tutor or your friend, whoever it is okay to ask for help. It is very okay to ask for help. If you've made a mistake somewhere in your lessons or in your life lessons or anywhere at all, it's absolutely fine to make mistakes. But if you are scared to make mistakes, my dear friends, you are going to stay as a person who will not learn anything. And then you have the bigger chances of being called dumb, right? So connected with this mistakes is another thing I'd like to tell all of you is that ask the dumbest of questions. When I was a young girl, my mother used to tell me one thing: do not ask stupid questions. She used to always tell me that. When I asked her something, I was a young girl of maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, and I used to ask the dumbest of questions. I used to ask her strange things, and she used to say, why did you ask me intelligent questions? Now my point is that, okay, in her position, she's right. She wants me to be intelligent, so she wants me to ask intelligent questions. But me, being a little girl, did not know what is an intelligent question, what is a stupid question, and what is a question. I'm full of inquisitiveness. I was full of inquisitiveness. I was full of questions in my head about why this is so, why the earth is round, why does the earth go around the sun, why do we have the moon there, why do we have the planets, and so many questions. But if you do not ask questions, you are not going to learn anything. Again, the same process. When you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. And when you don't ask questions, you are not going to learn. It is very important to ask questions. And questions, do not fear, my dear friends. Do not fear about making mistakes while you ask those questions. Ask those questions and make mistakes. And so what if people call you dumb? It's okay. But you will get your answer, no matter from who it is, but you're going to get your answer. Whether it's Google who'll tell you, or if you want your teacher to tell you that, or if you want your friends to tell you that, but go and ask for help. Any sort of questions that you have, you need to ask for help. Because if you are not going to ask any questions, you are going to remain in the same position that you were before you wanted to become a learner. If you want to become a learner, if you want to become a person who is constantly learning, a student who is constantly learning, then you have to ask those questions. Many times what happens is that in universities and colleges and schools, children or students or even older people, they are very scared to ask a question. I've seen that in seminars and in different during a normal time. I've seen elder people also feel they used to hesitate and they used to think that asking a question would make them look dumb, but then they would have lost an opportunity of clarifying their doubts if they had any during that particular seminar or meeting or whatever it was. But since they didn't ask the question, they didn't learn anything. They came home sad and dejected that they didn't question the particular person. But Again, the same thing, I would like to say that make those mistakes, ask those questions, be a learner. Don't be scared of anyone or anything. You might look dumb at first, but then you would have garnered or gathered a lot of knowledge, a lot of information by asking questions. Because without asking questions, again I come back to the root statement, that without asking questions you are nowhere. You are going to be in the same position that you started off with, zero. But once you learn, you are already on the step, on the way to becoming a good student, a good learner, and a person who is going to learn for life. And when it comes to questions, keep asking the questions, the uncomfortable questions, to whoever you think needs to be asked those uncomfortable questions. When I ask the questions in my Twitter handle, I ask the questions directly to the government. I ask the questions directly to the central and the state government, but why something is not happening. For you young people, it is important for you to stand up for a cause and ask questions, because when you start making this a habit, it becomes necessary. In fact, when you make this a habit, it becomes a habit. If you do not ask questions, you are mute, you are silent, you have no activism inside you. But when you start asking questions, you become an activist of sorts, and you start asking those uncomfortable questions. And with that, I'm going to say bye. I'm going to come back next time again. Keep asking those questions, keep making those mistakes, and be a very good learner. Love you all. See ya. Bye.